Hi guys, welcome back. It is time to talk the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We have a woman coming out talking about Danielle Cabral. She is an advocate for the state of New Jersey and a respite care bill that would help autistic children, and she has a lot to say about Miss Danielle Cabral. This woman has a lot to say about Danielle Cabral and her charity obligations. She's an advocate for the state of New Jersey for a respite bill that would help families with autistic children. And again, she has a lot to say about Danielle. I also want to talk about Penny from season 5. She did an interview and spoke about the $2 million gag order that was put on her by Bravo because they did not want viewers, they did not want any of us to know really what was transpiring at the Posh Fashion show, what went down, and how they were trying to protect and keep a narrative of Melissa sort of being the girl next door, the sweetheart, and Teresa being the villain. And before we get into all of that, guys, go check out my new YouTube channel. I had to start over. So Housewives 411, go check it out on YouTube, hit the like button and follow and check out my content, and let's get into this, guys. Let's start with a woman who is the advocate for the state of New Jersey. We've heard from her before. So what happened was, I think allegedly there was an event that Louis had put on for autistic children. I don't know if him and Danielle came together into the event or if he had planned it and she jumped in to help. I'm not quite sure, but they did a charitable event for autistic children, and Louis and Danielle were there representing, and this woman approached them, introduced herself, and told them what her end goals was. She, like I said, she's an advocate to the state of New Jersey, and she's advocating for a respite bill to be passed. So to her knowledge and to their knowledge, what we've heard, they talk, they are on board. Danielle and Louis both are on board, and everything is fine. A month or so goes by, she ends up making a TikTok talking about how she can't get a response from Danielle, and I think she was having a hard time getting a hold of Louis. Well, after that video dropped, I think Louis got a hold of her right away and apologized and said he didn't, overlook her phone call or anything. But I don't think that Danielle did the same. And now the woman is claiming she did a 2-part video on her TikTok. I'm not sure if they're still up this morning. This was yesterday. She's claiming that Danielle was talking poorly about her at BravoCon, and that during the season, Danielle's charitable acts are going to be kind of into question, which we did hear that. We had heard that people were talking about her other event that she had put together. Do you guys remember? And it was like a hot mess, and all the the ladies were basically on the stage for an hour. It was work. It was not organized well. It was not great. Do you guys remember? Okay. Well, because they started questioning that charity event, this whole thing got brought up again. So she went into detail about the different ways that she had reached out to Danielle, allegedly. And she also let us know how, she said she emailed 3 different times. She gave Danielle 3 different dates and said, look, can you tell me, do any of these dates work for you? I would like for you to come and just talk for 20 minutes to these state representatives and these local jurisdictions. And she claims that Danielle just simply never, ever answered her. And she's, I don't know what's going to happen there, but she's definitely coming out and speaking out against Danielle, and she's getting information from someone that Danielle was not talking great about her at BravoCon. She's not happy about that. So also, I want to talk a little bit about Danielle's outfit at BravoCon. What was everyone's thoughts? It was very, bedazzling. Is that the word that I'm looking for? I don't think that I would have worn that. I don't think that I would have encouraged her to wear that. That did not look BravoCon appropriate. It was a jumpsuit that had those little plastic discs on it, but it had a pattern that was not flattering, and it was a 1-piece jumpsuit tank top, and it did not flatter her at all. It was not a great look on her, and it probably was the worst dressed outfit at BravoCon. I hate to say that because I think I enjoyed Danielle a little bit last season, and I don't think that I'm going to be enjoying her this season. We saw her on a panel talking about how she loves Melissa and she really likes Teresa. Well, Teresa and Jennifer are the ones that took you in and brought you on the show and put you in their inner circle for an entire year and gave you a whole storyline, and here you are switching teams. I just don't think it's going to be a good look for Danielle. I don't think that she really understands the magnitude of what a support and fan following she had in Teresa and Jennifer. Just my opinion. And let's get into also really quickly, guys, about David Yontiv's Behind the Velvet Rope podcast that he did, where he talks to Penny and he ask some of the hard questions. And I think this is a pretty explosive interview, and that's why I would encourage all of you guys to go check it out. It's on David's Behind the Velvet Rope. Penny was in season 5. If you guys don't know who Penny is, then you need to go back and watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey and catch those last couple of episodes. I don't want you commenting. I don't want you liking. I don't want you sharing anything until you go and know a little bit about the posh fashion show with Johnny the Greek and Penny. Penny claims that Bravo hit her with a $2 million gag order after they filmed the Posh Fashion Show because they realized that they had a gold mine in the feud between Teresa and Melissa. Producers and Bravo decided production that Teresa was more of the villain because she came off a little bit more cold on TV, and that Melissa was coming off as the girl next door, and they were going to continue to run with that narrative. They couldn't have Melissa being outed or exposed for trying to set Teresa up or for cheating or for anything along those lines because it would ruin her image, which would ruin the their look for the whole conflict and why they were getting the ratings. Does that make sense to you guys? So Penny her and her husband were not happy. There was a physical altercation. I don't think he was ever right after that. He ended up passing away a couple of years later. And, it's always been alleged that they as in the Gorgas, pretty much set up Johnny the Greek and Penny, and so did the Walkilis. And they were setting them up with promises to be on the show next season. And they really wanted them to try to say that Teresa had set up the whole stripper gate situation. But in reality, producers wanted to keep the same feud going because they had seen ratings, they had seen viewers, they had seen the blogs, they knew people were invested, and they wanted to keep running with that same narrative. And so they could not allow Penny to say anything about Melissa, Strippergate, nothing like that. So they hit her with a $2 million gag order. And it's really interesting because David Yontiv's like, well, did they sort of threaten you? And she's like, yeah, they threatened me with a $2 million lawsuit if I said anything. So we know that the network obviously controls a narrative if they're putting gag orders on people like that. That's wild to me. I haven't gotten a chance to finish the entire interview. I'm going to go do that now. But I would encourage you guys, again, if you don't know about Johnny the Greek season 5 Posh Fashion Show, go check out that season. And then also make sure that you check out my podcast on Spotify, Housewives 111, and hit that like button.